Hey, what's up? So, during the weekend, I went into this rabbit hole whereby I found myself watching all Batman movies. Not all, majority, and somehow I landed, of course, the Joker. And my goodness, why do you guys love this movie? I mean, it's a good movie. If you talk of just a film, a very good looking film. And it captures themes that relate to many people. And apart from the third act, the first and second act, I was like, was this designed for people to actually like it? I mean, is it meant to be relatable? Who came up with such dark themes that are explored in a comic book movie? This is supposed to be a comic book movie, yeah? In a way, this went the Iron Man way, whereby you go beyond just a comic book movie and you actually create a film that feels grounded, that feels relatable. But my goodness, a guy from a parent dealing with a delusional parent to almost passing it down to a son, into the self-torture, the fridge scene, to his condition, whereby he can't quite explain to people what his condition is because, I mean, apart from Joaquin Phoenix, this was a very uncomfortable movie to watch. And I cannot imagine what the writers and the crew and Joaquin Phoenix had to go through to bring this to life. I mean, when you actually think about it, because when you watch a good movie, you talk cinematography, you talk about the performances, you talk about the music, you talk about the coloring, you talk about the lighting. But the thing is the aspect of theme. A movie like Atonement crushed me. The boy in the yellow, is it orange pajama, crushed me. But this consistently, with Atonement and the boy in the striped pajamas, those movies had a bunch of the film that was actually, there was love, there was friendship, there was a good aspect about those particular films. But the Joker, man, from the word go, it's just an individual just suffering. I mean, of everything that you could actually think about when it comes to mental health is kind of covered in this particular movie. Delusion, his condition whereby he cannot, when he's nervous. For most people, you've heard of the nervous laughter. When you're nervous, you give a particular laugh. It's actually something that happens in the real world. And I don't understand, okay, as much as it's in the comic book universe, this doesn't feel like it's supposed to be a comic book movie, I wouldn't consider this to be, I'm not saying that I wouldn't approve it. I would probably approve it because it's Todd Phillip, Joaquin Phoenix, and so that they're going to actually make something good. But is it that it's so much of a reflection of what is happening in the world today that most people, resonate and actually got to fall in love with this particular film? Or is it because that the movie took a different direction in terms of comic book movies and tried to give this, character, just a simple basic villain from a comic book movie, and tried to give it, a serious narrative and, treat the character with as much as respect as any other character? I would tend to wonder, why do you like it? Why do people love this so much? I watched this and I was half of the movie. Actually, as I said, the first act and second act, I was much more depressed than I was actually experiencing a good cinematic time, because I went into this movie because I had watched the Batman and I loved the visual language, and I was like, yeah, that's good. Now I should probably watch the Joker. So I go in and I'm going in for the visual language because I'm an artist. I love good cinematography, I love good lighting. You learn one or two things from the movies. But even after seeing it like twice when it came out and going like, wow, I'm never going to see that movie again, I still feel that there are elements about this movie that I don't think that are supposed to be out there. And I think that's the allure of the movie too, because it goes to the extreme of exploring conditions that most people try to run away from, mental health. And even when you look at the movie, the idea of a society that doesn't take care of its own, I think that's what, as if the world is going to, whereby we don't really care about the mentally ill. We just treat them as any other patient. You get a person who has mental problem taking care of another person who had who has mental issues. There's this particular scene when one of the nurses says they understand where he's coming from, and they also feel the same way. She had also, a lot of mental issues, and you wonder, and even the bullying, how the people treated him, and what he eventually becomes. It's as much as the world is going there. We live in a world currently that feels like it's actually going to that direction. But at the end of the day, that's no excuse to actually like this movie, because for me it was yes, you have that arc of a character starting off in a certain way. It's a very good, in fact, for film students, if you want to study a character's arc, character's journey, this is the movie that a person is supposed to actually watch, because it does that very well with moving from a very delusional, depressing world and becoming this thing. It's not positive, it has its own negative connotation, but at least there's development from where we started off to where it ended. But then again, this is a very okay, why am I making this video? I did not feel good after watching this movie. Yeah, especially for the the third act it's now the comic book movie that you expect. That's how I felt. But the first two acts for me were very, very, very disturbing, despite having the good cinematography. Again, it was just a very difficult movie to go through, and I felt for Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know how he can move from that to Boys Afraid, then to this, then to another Joker movie that is coming, and still be psychologically sound. I don't know how much toll this movie took on him. So yeah, this is a question that I'm going to ask you if you've seen the Joker. Why do you like this movie so much? What's the allure? What's your drive? What makes you watch this? What made you enjoy it? Why? Because it was one of it made $1 billion. That means that a lot of people watched it. A lot of people actually loved it. So why would you love such a depressing story? What's the allure? What's the draw? So basically that's it. I had to bring this video out because it just left me with some really bitter feelings, if you know what I'm saying. So basically that's it. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. I'm supposed to ask you to subscribe, but you just tell me what you thought about the movie. Tell me why you like this movie. I need to understand. I need to see. I need to get it. I even had to go to Letterboxd and I had to go to Google reviews and try to find out actually why people love it, and I still don't get it. So basically that's it. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch, and I shall see you on the next one.